annual revenue of PVR. Let's discuss detail in this. So you have to, it's given that you have to estimate, let's say, annual revenue of PVR. How do you approach? Generally, they will not give you any cost side estimations, right? They will always ask you on the market front, they will always ask you on revenue front. Cost assumptions which are very specific to companies actually. So if you don't know the company, if you don't know the company structure, you can only list down the costs, but you cannot simply calculate the cost for the company. So here we're talking about the gross revenue for PVR.
Sir, we don't know na that PVR company deals in which like sector.
This is normal PVR cinemas I'm talking about. You know about that, right? Or are you too much into your course that you don't step out of college?
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah. So you're talking only about PVR cinemas.
Sir, is it the revenue from the sale of tickets or also from the the food chains that PVR
Correct.
controls?
So that you have to clarify first that what is the revenue segment you're talking about, right? So these are all the revenue streams which are there for PVR. So they have ticket sales, could be parking, there is food and beverages, which is highly overpriced. Then there is advertising, which they do for billboards, and there are digital ads. Right. So what we are talking here about more is substantial revenue stream, which is the ticket sales. Remaining is there, but it's largely like 20-30% of total revenue. The larger revenue, around 60-70%, comes from their ticket sales. Correct. And then how you actually approach that, what is the ticket sale? So now it actually comes to a demand side problem. It's not a revenue side problem. So how many sales are there? This is something which is demand side problem. Correct. That how many sales will be happening. So that you can approach. Again, there could be two ways. There is a supply way, there is a demand side way. So demand side would be कि ticket sales कितनी होंगी. Again, you go to population, figure out the age, that these age people will go, these income people will go, and they will buy this ticket, etc. But believe me, if you do that, it's a very large exercise. There are so many assumptions, there is so many logics which will go into that, why people will not go on a Thursday rather than a Friday, why will not they have gone for same movie, let's say twice a day or twice a week. So demand side is a one feasible approach, but it will be a lot harder than this. Correct. Easier way would be actually to approach in a supply side way. Right. So you have your average footfall per show. You know that there are fixed number of shows at PVR. Correct. There cannot be something like a population of shows that they are running. You can have fixed number of shows. So which is something which is fixed. Average movie will span around some 2 to 3 hours. So they will have some 4 or 5 shows in a day. Correct. Average price is something which you can take in very easily. Now coming to average footfall. So in average footfall, you have weekdays and weekends, because you know that footfall will be high during weekends and for weekdays it will be lower. So let's say seating capacity of a cinema is fixed. Correct. It's a 300 seater. So seating capacity is something which is fixed. Occupancy rate is something which you can assume that weekdays may come hoga, weekends pay it will be more like 80-75%. You have your average footfall. And once you have your average footfall, so this is, just see that this we are talking about a week, because we have considered the 4 days of weekdays and remaining weekends. So you have to divide by 7 to estimate what is the footfall per day, because all the calculations are doing on a daily basis. Right. And then you can simply multiply by 365 or even 400 if you want to derive the annual revenue for ticket sales. Right. So this gives out the entire easy out of structure in terms if you apply from a supply side. So this example I kept purposely so that you don't think only from a population side or a household side, but also if there is something like a seating a fixed parameter which is there. So here in cinema, it's a fixed parameter which is seating capacity. Similarly, in a flight, there is a fixed number of seats. You cannot simply increase the seats to the number of population. The population is restricted to actually enter into theater or plane because of the fixed seating capacity. So that is also another way in which you can operate. Correct. Similarly, assumptions which are there. So footfall will depend. It's a weekday or a weekend. Then price also can be considered differently. That weekend prices, you can consider that average price per show on a weekend will be some 20% higher. If it's 100 on a weekday, it will be some 120, 130 on a weekend. That is something which you can do. And then if there are multiple screens there, then you can simply multiply this number with the number of screens which is there, and then you have the total number of ticket sales. Right? Does that broaden your horizon in terms of approaching the problem, or do you still feel that demand side is easier rather than this? Any thoughts, any questions you have here?
सर एक बार डिमांड साइड और सप्लाई साइड दोनों में एक बार आप बताओगे क्या फर्क मतलब आएगा अगर हम बता रहे हैं उन्हें तो.
Okay. So first, I'll ask you a question that are you clear what a demand side and what a supply side means?
Yes sir, definitely.
Okay. So see, supply side से फर्क numbers में कोई बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं आने वाला है. It will be largely same. But what like I told you, they are looking at how you actually approach. Do you actually boil the ocean, or do you actually work in a very analytical manner to simplify the problem and then bring a solution to it? So this is the supply side. Why I'm saying this is a supply side? Because I have a fixed number to the supply that I cannot supply more than 300 seats because the seating capacity is fixed in a theater, right? Similarly, for a flight, the seating capacity is fixed. I cannot increase the number of seats, right? That is why I suggested that this problem will be way easier if you go by supply side, because you have a fixed parameter which you don't have to work or estimate. This you can simply assume, correct? And this number, even if you take 250, he will not argue with you. A particular theater could have 300, a particular theater could have 250 seats. So that is totally fair on your part to assume. But if you're coming, let's say, from demand side, so there will be so many questions, like if you're going, let's say, from a population route, and we are talking about, let's say, PVR in Delhi, and assuming there is only one PVR. So let's say coming to Delhi population, that this is the total number of population in Delhi, and considering PVR cinema is something which is consumed on an individual basis. So we don't need number of households here, right? We only need the population here, that every individual will be going on its own. It's not like a ticket for one house, correct? So you need the population, you need their age, because let's say less than 15 or greater than 60, 55 people may not go. This is a fair assumption to assume. You will only consider the age set of 15 to 55. So which will give you some 60, 70% of Delhi population, right? So now you have a again a convergent view on the population. Then you go by the age class that age class is done. Then you go by the income class or the working class, and then you further go that what is the propensity to go on a weekday or a weekend, whether they are working. So if they are working, they will go on a weekend. If they are students, they can go on any days. So that is how the grid will become. Are you understanding, like the way this arrows are split, it will just go on and on and on and on. It will be like a very large tree, and there will be so many assumptions, and I believe that you will be lost there. What I am telling you is still like in an easier manner, but if you simply think on this, it might jumble up the entire situation. And that is what kind of attitude interviewer is looking, that you don't complicate a problem. If there is a simpler way to it, you think and you act on it, right? He doesn't expect that you can solve in both manner. He just wants to have this kind of a structure that, okay, you can think. He doesn't even care about the numbers you're getting, right? This is only the arrow, ये जो tree दिख रहा है ना, ये flow chart, that is the only thing. Even if you present this flow chart to him, he'll be more than sufficient. He'll be more than happy with their performance.